Well, good evening, everybody. Sherry and I got back from vacation last night. It was bumper to bumper traffic from Chattanooga, Tennessee to Paducah, Kentucky. Bumper to bumper, 80 miles an hour. It was terrible driving. But the 2 weeks we spent down in the tri state area, which I mean uh, northeast Georgia, southwest North Carolina, and western South Carolina. It was pretty awesome. The first day we went on a hike. We did like 2 mile hikes every day. The first day we thought we were gonna die. We run into some dude and he's like, "Yeah, the parking's right, just like 0.9 miles that way." And I'm like, "There ain't no way. We walked a hell of a lot farther than that." No, we didn't. We didn't. We were just out of shape. But we climbed up this fire tower, and Sherry was scared to death. She's like, "This thing's rickety. It's gonna fall apart." And the stairs were like more like a ladder. But I was doing my best to be encouraging and like, you got this, blah 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 blah. We went down into the gosh, I don't even remember what it's called. There's a gorge down there. Anyway, we go down into the gorge. You got to like get a ticket, sign in, and get a ticket, and to get down in there. And we started going across this river, and we're like hopscotching across these big boulders. And I'm just thinking, man, we might be in over our heads. We break an ankle or something. We're screwed. It was like 300 steps to get down there, and they were good steps. Everything was nice, but Sherry got really scared. I was like, "Listen, I'm not going to ask you to do more than what you think you can do." And she's like, "Oh, I feel like I let you down," and blah 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 blah. And I was like, "No, no, no. You reach your limit. You find your limit, and you feel like, hey, I'm not comfortable with this." That's the time you want to turn around. You don't want to wait until it's too late, until you're down there just screwed. There was a video years ago of some guy, "Hans, I do not like this. This does not feel safe." And then you see some guy just free falling off a cliff. And that stuff happens. So, anyway, yeah, she didn't let me down at all. I was so happy and so proud of her for pushing herself. I push myself a little bit too, but I'm a little crazier than she is. She's just crazy enough to go along for the ride with me. But anyway, we did find some adult beverages. After every hike, we go find some adult beverages. Now, this may look like I'm some sort of freak alcoholic, but I am not. Okay, but I do like the whiskeys. We went to wineries and breweries as well. Wineries down in Georgia are not that good. And there's I can't remember the name of the town, but it's got a weird name. Dalnaga is what I call it, but it's pronounced Dahlonega. And you go in there and it's $25 for one tasting, and there's two of us. I'm like, no, we're going to be hopscotching winery to winery. I'm not spending 50 fucking dollars every time I go to a winery to get a couple sips of wine. I'm like, no, no, this ain't going to work. That area was too pricey. Like around here, well, anywhere we go, $12 for a tasting. And if you pay $12 for a tasting, you get a glass. They'll give you a glass, sometimes a tall one. These people didn't hand out jack squat. So anyway, but we did go to a couple whiskey places, and this one dude, this him? No, that's not him. It's over here. R.M. Rose. I'll cover that. I'll cover it. But yeah, taste any of it, all of it, free. We don't charge you for tasting. Here, have a little sip, see what you think, and buy what you like. And that's the way I like to do business. But let's go through these. I'm going to taste these, and then I'll make a drink and explain to you what I'm doing when I make the drink, because this is all cinnamon whiskey, as you can probably see. This one right here came from South Missouri like a year ago. I think that got poured out into my, God, I hope that's the Amish fire. That got poured out into my pistol flask that my daughter got me. Let me pop that open and just to make sure. I think that's still Amish fire. But if it's not, then we'll set it to the side. I'm not going to be doing this with bourbon. This is not a bourbon drink. But let's start here. This is not obviously cinnamon whiskey. This is a fruit whiskey, but it's still really good, and I had to include it into the mix. It kind of doesn't. And this is a peach. but I'm going to start over here. This guy I really like. Let's cover it. Let's cover it. He is in Gainesville, Georgia. Very small distillery. Red Remedy Distilling is the name of the company. It's like downtown by the railroad tracks, by the old depot in Gainesville. Not a fantastic neighborhood, but a really cool little area. And he makes just a bourbon, a straight whiskey, like a corn whiskey, and then he does this cinnamon. Those are the only three products that he offers, and he does some really spendy shit too. He's got a real expensive bottle, but you know, I like the cinnamon, and I got bourbon for days. I got like over there in the freezer, I got gallons of bourbon, so I'm not worried about that. That's not what I went to taste. And if I wanted to do bourbon, I would have probably went to Kentucky and spent a week in Kentucky. But anyway, let's pour a little bit of this. I'm just going to do a little half ounce on each. And I'll tell you which one I like the best out of these. I guess there's only 3 here that I have. I'm sorry. Well, I did this one just for doing it. This is for the non-whiskey. I don't call me a whiskey snob, please. I'm not a whiskey snob. I'm just picky. But yeah, Fireball's shit in my world. Anyway, this is the Red Remedy, and I did taste it the other night, and I had a drink with it. It's called the Granny Smith apple or something, and oh my gosh, it's like the cinnamon apple whiskey. Amazing. Okay, that's got a lot of cinnamon flavor in it. I don't taste any barrel stuff with it, and I just taste alcohol and whiskey, but more cinnamon. Alcohol and whiskey, cinnamon and alcohol, but more cinnamon and no ethanol flavor to it, which means it was distilled well. I might get a paper towel here. Excuse me. Brother Brian and Dad been down here jacking around, and they finally got their project done, and I pulled this Studebaker in. I've been working on it. The back brakes, I was worried the hill hold was jacked, but it's not, so somebody just over-tightened the drums in the back, probably. Okay, so this is Amish Fire. This guy's a distiller down in Branson. He's been on that Moonshiner show with Tim Smith. Him and Tim Smith are friends. Tim actually helped him build his distillery and get everything set up. And he does pretty good work. He's a real nice guy, real friendly. He's set up with a barbecue joint, but you have to call a day in ahead of time to get any barbecue, because they do a day in advance on ordering, because that stuff, they like hand smoke it. You know, they have a pit master there 24/7 when they do smoke the meat, which is not what I consider barbecue. It's what I consider smoked meat. That's what my friends down in Kansas City do that sponsor the military retreats that I do. Anyway, yeah, Amish Fire, corn whiskey. The heat is sweet. Now, let me back up. This is 70 proof, 35% alcohol by volume. This guy is 50. So this is 25. So he actually dilutes this. If you remember the coffee that I drank, that I got down in South Missouri, that I did not like because it was diluted, this is diluted too. I think he just dilutes it with water. I don't think he puts syrup in it. I didn't ask him. I'm not going to. I don't want to be rude like that. But it is good. But reading the label now, I don't like the fact that it's 25% alcohol by volume, especially when you spend $35 for a fifth. This guy here was 25, and it's 70. He retained all of that alcohol in there and just changed the flavor. Kind of what I do with the coffee beans and the bourbon. Let's try it. Okay, I do taste some ethanol. That's why you see me making the frowny face. That's my alcohol face, detection face. Cherry's like, the faces you make are so funny. And I'm like, yeah, well, this tastes like shit. So anyway, joke's on me. So anyway, I do taste ethanol with this, but I do taste cinnamon. The RM or not RM Rose, the Red Remedy. Uh, that's the best so far out of the two. We're gonna do this Tennessee Legend. This whiskey we bought in Sevierville. We went up there. I did Tail of the Dragon. Oh, check it, check it, check it. I got the poster. We did every bit of that tail. And there's a guy that takes your pictures on the mountain when you're driving up, going around a corner. They stage themselves at different areas. Didn't get our picture. He was running out there with his camera, but I looked and we didn't get it. But you know what? We don't care. We don't care. We just got to do it. We experienced it. Go back again? Yeah. I wanted to do it with the MG, but we would have probably ended up off the side of the cliff dead or something. You know, it's just God telling us that that's not the right thing to do. The MG's got like 6-inch wheels, and the Audi's got like 8-inch wheels. So here, let's see, 6 and then 8. So it makes a big difference. The Audi's a little scoochy in the ass end, but when we left, I checked the temperatures or the pressures on the tires and make sure I was sitting around 25 pounds on the ass end and 35 pounds on the front end. And that will allow, when you come around a corner, a little bit lower pressure, the tire has more rubber on the road when you drop pressure. But there's a point to where you drop the pressure and it'll start to cup in the middle. And when it does that, it'll ruin the tire. It'll tweak the belt in the tire. It does all kinds of shit. We actually did have a flat tire when we were down there. We did the tail and blah, blah, blah. We come around a corner on the tail, and there's like super elevation in the curves, quite a bit, some of the curves when they're sharp. And you come around that corner, and that depending on the direction you were going, the back right or the back left, you'd hear them go, yoop, 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 when we come around the corner, you know. And it was a good time. I really enjoyed it. I'll do it again someday if I get the chance. But enough of that. Sevierville, Tennessee Legend. I compare this to the people down in Branson, and it's called Branson Distillery, I think. I don't know, Branson Moonshine, but I think these folks and those folks are one and the same. They just got a different label and different stores, different location, because everything looked the same to me. And we bought this there too. This is the peach. It's good. It's good. Let me look. See, this is 60 proof, 30% alcohol by volume. So this is somewhat diluted, and they had some coffee, just like the shit that I bought, except with a different label on it from Branson, and same situation, 25%, 50 proof. And I was like, you're sacrificing proof for flavor, for basically like going and getting your coffee with some flavoring in them, or your tea. They just squirt that liquid syrup shit in there. That's all they do. So I didn't want that with whiskey. I want the flavor to be there. And it's hard to do. This is done by chemists and shit, I'm sure. But don't sacrifice the proof. Now this one, Tennessee Legend, it's 25% alcohol by volume. Guess what? 50 proof. So they diluted this too, just with the probably syrup. I don't know. But I'm going to try this Tennessee. I tried it when I was there, I think. I know I tried the red remedy because I bought 2 bottles of it. I liked it so much. But this, I may not have tried this. They might have gave me a little sip. They were nice people. I ran into a few people that, you know, I was like, oh, this person's, you know, they're just here for the money or whatever. There was a guy, Dahlonega Brewing. He is there for the craft, much like my buddy Steve down in Kansas City that has the brewery. He does the brewing for the craft. Yes, he generates revenue. Yes, he makes money because it's a business, right? But he's more concerned about growing the business through a good product. Not like this guy over here. It used to be Ninja Moose. Let me tell you a story. Story time. Pause. Ninja Moose Brewing was in Hamilton, Missouri, my family's hometown. It's a little bitty town off 36 Highway, and now all the Mormons have gone in and bought everything up, and if you're into quilting, well, that's the place you got to go. Anyway, he opens a brewery there, and I go up there. I grabbed my brother-in-law, Dave, Navy Davy. I'm like, we're going up to Ninja Moose, and we're going to hook us up one of those mugs because they're getting sued, and they're not going to be able to sell shit like that anymore. And it's going to be the only mug left in existence someday that says Ninja Moose. So the story, yes, Ninja Moose Brewing, single guy, owned, operated, built it up, and started selling beer and doing a decent job. You know, he's still in business. Gets sued by Moosehead Beer because Moosehead Beer has a patent on the name for a brewery. So there's no brewery in North America, because Moosehead is Canadian, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. Could be like Yuengling, right? Yuengling is an American brewery. Anyway, Moosehead Beer sued Ninja Moose Brewing because they had moose in the title of their brewery. And they won. And he had to change the name to, now it's Levi Garrison and Sons. I don't know, whatever. That's what he wants to do. But I, myself, and Dave got one of the two of the last mugs that say Ninja Moose Brewing on them. Now, you get to be a member of the Mug Club, right? Okay, Mug Club, cool. No. So like Steve's, you get into, go down to Steve's Brewery, you go down to Call Sign, you're a member of the Mug Club, you get $1 off a draw, and you know, specials and all kinds of stuff included. Well, you spend $30 on this fucking mug at Ninja Moose, and you can be a member of the Mug Club. I was like, okay, cool. Do I get $1 off a draw when I come in or something? Or, you know, military discount? Anything? Nope. But you can hang it on the wall. Fuck that wall. I'm taking that son of a bitch home, and I ain't coming back again. We did go back one more time. And they do have some good beer. And one of their beers, though, I do like it. It's a wheat beer, but it's Zach Wheat. So Zach Wheat is a famous baseball player from Brooklyn. And, well, he was on the Dodgers team, and he set several records, many records actually. Well, he was actually from that area, and my grandpa went to school with his wife, and after he died, my grandpa was like, went up, and Dad was like, where are we going? Oh, I'll show you in a minute. And he went up and talked to his wife. He'd passed away, and said, hey, Zach told me I could drive his car in the parade if I could get it running. And she's like, it's out in the barn. You're more than welcome. Whatever you want to do. Nobody really knew Zach Wheat was a car guy. And when he came back with a Rolls-Royce coupe. And they had to cut a tree down to get the doors open to get into the barn. And voila, here's this Rolls-Royce coupe in there. And Dad and Grandpa got it loaded onto this trailer and got it back to the shop. And Dad and my Uncle John got the thing started and running and got it drivable, and Grandpa drove it in the parade. So, yeah, cheers to Zach Wheat. End of story time. This is, again, the Tennessee Legend Distilling Company. Let me at least give a little bio here, right? We know it's 60 proof, 30% alcohol by volume, and it's definitely bottled by Crystal Falls Spirits in Sevierville, Tennessee. There. That's got enough cinnamon it lights you up, like chewing on a hot tamale, the candy hot tamales, which, by the way, are my favorite. So I do like that. I have an affinity for this guy. It's a little hot. It's a little on the hot side. And I got something on my glasses. That's spicy cinnamon. Spicy hot, but very good. I'm still favoring this guy, Red Remedy. I'm still favoring him, but I might have to make 2 drinks. I didn't bring my jug. Well, fuck. Okay. Enough of that. I did bring my water, though, right? Oh, my. This might go long. I hope everybody's having a great spring. Weather's starting to break, finally. We had a couple frost warnings. Shop Kitty got pissed off at me when I was on vacation. She got right in front of the camera. She's like, hey, where the hell's my food, asshole? But I got her fed last night. Okay, this is the peach from Tennessee Legend. Oh, it smells really peachy. This is only 50 proof now. So remember when you're buying that shit, if I'm going to pay $35 or $25 even for a fifth of whiskey, you want to keep the proof. But it does smell damn good. Yeah, so that's like drinking peach schnapps, except you know how when you drink peach schnapps, it's got all that sugar and almost a syrupy give to it. It doesn't have that. All right, so this is RM Rose. Let me do a bio on RM Rose real quick because I'm running long. I want to get signed off and y'all can get back to your kick-ass day. But RM Rose is from Dillard, Georgia. Dillard is a very small town. I wouldn't even consider it a town. I honestly think that it used to be like a resort where people would go and stay and hang out for the week and play shuffleboard and shit, and then leave. It's like there's not really any houses in town. There's like, I don't know, there's any, like an event house, like a clubhouse and a hotel, and there's like a playhouse there, like a theater, but that's now, I think that's now the city hall. And there's like a cop there right next door. The cop car's sitting right here. We'll pull it into the distillery. I'm like, oh, this looks interesting. Very interesting town. Dillard, Georgia. Check it out if you're in that area. But again, RM Rose, that guy's doing some really cool stuff. His grandfather's recipe, white, I think it was a yellow corn whiskey, but it's a white whiskey run through a copper pot and really high quality whiskey. They do it right. They do it right. And so does this guy here, this dude at Red Remedy in Gainesville. He does it right too. But this guy, RM Rose, he's got like, at least a dozen, maybe two. We bought some sipping whiskey from this, some sipping cream. Yeah, it's got a kick, but it's really good. You could put that stuff on ice cream or something. Super good. But this is blackberry, distilled and bottled by RM Rose, 35 proof, or 35% alcohol, 70 proof, Blue Ridge Mountain Smooth Blackberry, RM Rose. And it's got a whole story on the back. You can read it online. Just remember that name, RM Rose. And if you're in that area, give the guy some business because he's doing some good stuff. And the color is just beautiful. That almost looks like the elderberry juice that I do. That's just wonderful. It looks like grape juice. Let me take a whiff here. I can't really smell a ton of blackberry or really anything. It's almost a neutral odor. There's just a hint of like Scentsy that you plug into the wall. Just the tiniest hint of that. It's got some alcohol to it. You can taste the alcohol. So I'm not tasting a lot of blueberry, but we bought it when we were there because when you mix it up, it's pretty good. The blueberry obviously comes out in a drink over ice. Ice changes whiskey a lot. It brings out a lot of the natural flavors. But if you do buy the granite cubes, don't use them in a glass, okay? Don't use them in a glass. Oh, God, one more. Oh, I don't want to do this one. Did you remember? I didn't. I forgot. If you remembered, kudos to you. Yeah, the shit. Oh, my God. I might have to get out a wrench. Oh, holy crap. Thought I was going to have to get out the vice grips. And the guy down at, the guy down here at the Mr. Whiskey place in Branson, he told me It's because of all the sugar. You can actually see the sugar in that cap. Here, you can see the sugar on the side of that. You see that? It's just syrup. Now, okay, so let's cover it. Fireball whiskey is 33% alcohol by volume, which probably means they add all this syrup and then they just dump in food grade alcohol to get their proof. You can buy food grade alcohol anywhere. It's just ethanol. It's no different than straight up cheapest vodka you can buy. And everybody knows what cheap vodka tastes like. Horrible. It tastes like ethanol. But I'll be the guy. I'll let you know. Okay. So after tasting these three, and of course the other flavored whiskeys, Fireball, it tastes just like schnapps that's bumped up a notch. I would say Rumpelmintz, because Rumpelmintz, it's 100 proof though. See, this is 66. When you start hitting on the Rumpelmintz, you're 100 proof. You're not playing around. You gotta be a serious drinker to break out the Rumpelmintz. But it is good. It doesn't have quite as much syrup because you've got so much freaking alcohol. But you're not tasting the ethanol with Rumpelmintz. It's a high quality product. That's why it's like $40 freaking for a fifth. Fireball is fifth is like $20, but you're getting a lot of syrup. You're getting upper class